most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the X-Feed show of the day. So between you and I, has it become violent on your timeline?
As a store of value.
Right, everybody's ruthless.
We call them poor.
My name's the Shiller,
That use
going over all the latest and greatest over the weekend.
currency, we call them poor.
Do you remember when Bored Ape Serums originally dropped? If you didn't burn it, you missed out on the ape claim, which at the time was astronomical. Imagine you waited this entire time to burn it. That's crazy!
We call them poor. Okay?
I don't get why they don't just drop like a board token. You know what I mean? We have the apes. We got all this, stuff. Yeah, listen. Do we leave the hat on or off? I didn't realize I was gonna mess up my hair. Fantastic, Harry Swan. Good freaking morning to you, sir. We have like about 100 tabs, so this is gonna be the hat stays on. Do we do it on reverse where you can't hide the you don't show the branding, or do we represent? There we go. Maybe flip it up and look like that monkey. Anyway, okay, so let's get into the stuff. In case you missed it, owner of the Walt Market bought $8 million worth of whiff hat on 01/10/2024, basically January 10th. Currently holds over $155 million worth of whiff and is the token's third largest asset holder. I don't have any whiff, but I still think that stuff's kind of funny. We'll get into more comparisons for whiff in a little bit, but holy sweet mother of goodness, $8 million into 155. You have to start out with the 855 million. But you can't do that if you're getting fined. Look how absolutely insane this is. So if you haven't seen Victor Wanana from the NBA, he threw a ball into the crowd and got fined $25,000 American. Let me repeat that again. $25,000 American dollars. Insane. Well, are we talking about inflation? Are we talking? I don't even know how you're supposed to respond to that. It's insane. My GF says I look like a baby wearing a bucket hat. There we go. There we go, boss. Good to see you, sir. All right, yo, Jeremy coming through with an update from Parallel. If you haven't seen that, or this, I should say, this is interesting. I feel that one of the only actual showcases of gameplay footage that we've seen to do with AI in kind of like an AI avatar based ecosystem is coming from Colony. Does that mean that they're first? Does that mean other people are waiting to kind of get their information out there? Am I just in an echo chamber and I don't see what else there is? But this is, it looks interesting.
Welcome to a new Colony update. In past videos, we've been showcasing what Colony looks like today on mobile devices, but our plans go way beyond the initial release, and we are constantly experimenting with new technologies to imagine the future of the project. In this case, we wanted to explore using in-world AI's technology to interact with our avatars and allow players to immerse themselves into the Parallel lore.
Hey, who are you?
I'm an engineer of the Agencore, but you can call me Rodden.
Who is the chief engineer?
The esteemed chief engineer of the Agencore. That would be John, a legendary figure rumored to be nearing 1,000 years old. They're not just about power and dominance like some leaders, but rather they strive for the peace and prosperity of all those in the system. Quite the noble goal, wouldn't you say?
Right. Like, I need to stop that. Is there like ringing in your ears? Maybe ringing isn't the right term, but it's like a wind barrier. That was pretty freaky, realistic in a way. I mean, is this how it works? Where all these characters just take a form of their own, and when we talked about AI taking over, it's actually just on the blockchain and in Colony and not going to ruin our lives. Yeah, GMA, what's going on? How are you? And Pops the Trader, good morning, sir. Study people holding Bored Apes from $500,000 to $40,000. What idiots. Now, obviously, he's joking. Well, I mean, listen, maybe he's not joking per se, but it is interesting to recount the heights of the previous bull market. We're going to go over a lot of different, like, oh, you guys can't, can I do the full screen here now? That doesn't even work. I have about 605 taps. I'm being genuine when I say that. So we're going to go over a lot. Perspectives should be changed today. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. Memphis Depay still rocking a shin guard. Now, first of all, I didn't realize pro soccer players wear a shin guard that is like the size of a Pop-Tart, but apparently that's what they do. But I guess he's still rocking his Bored Apes. And when we go back just a second ago to apes were at, $400,000, $500,000. Who was buying them at the time? Well, at least the media and everybody was saying, oh, it's MoonPay. But I want to change that just a little bit. When we think of that time, we always associate with these celebrities, which have insane amounts of money. If you happen to watch like the really popular streamers right now in terms of Aiden Ross, XQC, I saw a clip the other day where they were talking about like a $300,000 watch, and they're like, oh, that's, like acting like that's not expensive. So when you hit a certain upper class per se, then everything changes. And I think apes are the only one that have garnered that, or at least is fooled the right word. I don't think so. We say MoonPay, et cetera, but it was something at the time that was representing of something that was higher, right? Why did people buy certain brands? Because it costs more, and with the supply being the way that it is, obviously things have fallen off a little bit, but still, remember, the perspective of how things were and how quickly the class jumps on wealth. Feel like this went really under the radar on Western crypto Twitter. An undoxed Eastern entrepreneur onboarded the nephew of the ruler of Dubai. Oh, okay. So now we're getting NFTs to the nephew of the ruler of Dubai. And I guess they got hooked up with an ink on BTC whitelist or mint. I'm not really sure the situation, but back to the point that I just made, we're talking some big bucks. And now, continuing with that trend, apparently Joe Rogan's producer bought one of the Bitcoin puppets. All right. Again, still upper echelon, working with people that have a lot of money. How does this go? We'll see. POV, Diamond handing a mutant serum, not receiving any of the airdrops, including Ape. Oof. Yeah, that one's a tough one. For anyone that didn't end up burning their mutant ape serum, you didn't get the initial ape claim, and you didn't get anything else that was associated with having a mutant ape, and that just... Listen, a lot of people, we thought, people are going to pay a fortune to get their specific ape mutantified eventually. Has it happened? No, not really. This punk is so weird, never seen it before. Oh, okay. What is this? Just a typical crypto punk, but it is kind of interesting with the mask, the visor, the squiggly hair. Remember, there's 10,000 of these things for various collections. I think it is cool when we do find a asset across a major ecosystem that people are like, oh, I haven't seen that one before. That looks kind of cool. And then it's, back to the next thing. Got a lot of new followers today from the Costco hot dog tweet. So if you watched Friday's stream, I brought up the fact that there was a meme coin that was created, and the slogan for it was, this is a Costco hot dog, so it has to go to $1.50. And it rocketed. Like, arguably, we gave the alpha out on the stream. I didn't buy it. I don't really partake in any of that. I just thought it was funny on the timeline. But Smoot saying, if you came here from the hot dog tweet and expected more alpha, remember, I'm the owner of such takes as Artifact will onboard the masses, and Smileverse is a blue chip. It's only relevant if you understand those two collections. But speaking of CloneX, clones hit a floor high price of $70,000 in 2022. Getting this for $1,700 feels like a steal. So perspective. You have somebody new that comes into the space, they're like, $1,700. That sounds a lot. But the perspective changes when you've been in the space and you've seen them go for $70,000 before. Yo, DJ Toasty, name one reason that a Costco hot dog shouldn't cost $1.50. Tarui. The sooner you realize capital is about to 1,000, what is that? 100,000x onto base, the better. A lot of people talking about base, a lot of ways that they could onboard. I think there's a little bit of a stigma due to the fact that the NFT market ended up failing that they had before. I generally agree with this take, but I also think that the future is multi-chain. So yes, we could see a massive amount of action on base specifically, but is it only ever on that chain? I don't know. Same thing with these other ecosystems right now, right? Like all the trading's being done on Solana for these meme coins and a lot of other, I guess mainly the meme coins, because ETH, it's just impossible to trade. But at a point, there was the meme coins that were trading on ETH way back, but everybody's like, I don't want to pay gas. And so do we see something that comes out that's better, that gets more liquidity than Solana? Is it base? I don't know. I think just the notion that more people are getting into crypto and it grows everything, it's, it just kind of the rising tide lifts all boats or ships or something along those lines. Base specifically because of the Coinbase connection, and that's huge, right? Like Coinbase can filter a lot of people to their ecosystem. Someone said no to the possibility of owning 2 Genesis Cyberkongs, which produce a yield every day, or 2 Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, which again produce a yield every day, going for that legendary VX Cyberkong. Now, we highlighted this the other day, and I made a comment about, I have no idea if this gives something extra within the game, but why? Aside from being one of the coolest looking VXs, it has 1,000 base gear score for play and collect. Congrats to both the buyer and seller, and I think there's a prize pool of like 500K that people are fighting for right now. So is this just kind of a flex thing? Is this to try to take a bigger pot of that reward pool? But 119,000 is almost like over a quarter of the way there to the entire prize pot. The vintage slot machine. Listen, if there's any meme coiners in the chat, this is what it used to look like back in the day. This is kind of funny though, because I'm just like, how the hell would you even begin to build this? Like, if I'm like, I want to build an in-person slot machine, where do you even begin to build this out? It's crazy. Now, speaking of crazy, this has been insanely controversial, made a bunch of people money, potentially changed the perspective of people on Doodles, but Poopy, the co-founder of Doodles, he's not the artist. That's burnt toast. But for holders of Doodles, the Gen Boxes, duplicators, and holders of custom 101 Doodles, Doodle Bank participants and voters, Genesis Box burners, Doodle minters, even if you floored it and got the F out, check your wallets on base and read the post. Wait a minute, I think I got this. I forgot. I actually minted Doodles. Oh my, yo, Toasty, we might have made it, brother. That's crazy. So anyway, they made a token called Poop, and the joke, right, is it's a meme coin or shit coin, and so if you're buying Poop, it's the best shit coin. Like, it's dumb. It's super dumb. I am already on Farcaster, by the way. If you just look me up, Schillerverse, I made a video on it, like, when it first came out. Yeah, I mean, so that's crazy. So let's go into some of the different thoughts within this. Poopy, co-founder of Doodles, has just created and airdropped a new meme coin. Poop to Doodle holders currently sitting at 33 mil USD market cap. That was at the time of March 30th, so yesterday at 8:46 p.m., and then it ended up actually doubling. So far, so very good. It was at like 3 cents and then up to 6. Different people weighing in saying, finding it odd that Doodles and Satoshi Rip both release community tokens. So MFers, if you know that NFT collection, they did the exact same thing. So it is a little weird that both of these launch a token kind of at the same time. Less than 24 hours apart, both with detailed and thoughtful distribution. Doodle minters, MF for treasury admins, both apparently by West Coast NFT. Same spreadsheet template used, both on base. Primarily NFT holders get the same 10K. Interesting, right? And then Pranksy, who again, massive Doodle holder, I think he bought like the rarest one. That's the ape with the crown, or it's one of the rarest ones. And I guess he burnt 50 million of the token. Why? I don't know. I guess he's just trying to make it healthier for the ecosystem. I guess that is good. Now, continuing this trend that we're seeing with meme coins across the space, not a single person is in profit after sending this dude money. I don't know if that's accurate. I thought I saw something this morning about the token that he was into, ended up ripping, but he got 40 mil and only provided 10 mil liquidity, kept the rest for himself. There's all these pre-sales. If you're watching this right now and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I don't know how to begin the conversation except for imagine that you had money and I said, I'm going to launch a token and you can get into it ahead of time. And then you sent me $50 and then I sent you a token and then you just prayed that it ended up going well. That's kind of what like some of these big players are doing within the space, where we saw on the flip side where Doodles and the MFer are just giving these tokens out. It's different between like a pre-sale versus just giving an airdrop. And so this is one of the this is how it went, right? It went straight down. They called it Bubba Opa, which I guess is after like a dog or something. I don't know. I don't understand any of this stuff. NFT price floors. Punks are at $163,000. Penguins at $51,000. Apes at $44,000. Mutant apes at about $8,000. But the LeBron Top Shot debut at $1,600. Oh, that's crazy. Listen, when we're comparing grails, they're bringing up LeBron and Top Shot. Do we say that's undervalued or do we say that's perfectly valued? Dude, this guy's crazy. I don't know when I followed him. I don't know anything about it, but this dude makes massive posts about just shitting on Gary V every single day. Warning, VFriends creator and operator, Gary V Vaynerchuk, fraud alert. This is the founder and CEO of a children's brand. And just, man, the amount of effort this guy is putting in to just rip on Gary V is hysterical to me. Rip OpenSea from 2017 to March 2024. When we're looking at the marketplace dominance, Magic Eden, 47.97% of the market share. Blur at 27%. Tensor at 8%. OKX 7%. Unisat at 4.09%. Guys, OpenSea's done. It's over. It's gone. It's out of here. That's crazy. Okay. You might be thinking, Schiller, why the hell are you bringing up an attached photo? And attached doesn't play for Optic Texas. What is going on? For anybody that doesn't know, this is one of the Call of Duty pros, and he did like a 24-hour subathon. Rest in pepperoni OpenSea. Truly. And one of his goals was like, if you gift X amount of subs, you can change my profile photo. And so obviously somebody does that, and he switches to this. The reason why I want to bring this up is because we haven't seen this, I think, in the realm of Web3 yet for like different collections. Like we haven't really had a proper creator structure for certain games. Obviously there's referral codes. I remember for High Chain, there was a lot of people talking about how much they ended up making off of that. For Blast, obviously there was referral codes, et cetera, but there wasn't really anything that was like directly, hey, this is out in the kind of public and you're trying to raise money and hit these goals. But I'm just saying, I feel like it's kind of close. I feel like that kind of influencer, content creator takeover for something is relatively near. Now, Badingo, I have no idea what this is. The stash stays on. Schiller, you got Pop Poop Coin and Dog NFT Shitcoin in your base wallet. Toasty, I love the fact that you were able to rip that up already. Am I rich on either though? So somebody posted this on their timeline that ended up showing up on mine, and I guess it's a new collection. They went completely silent, but then the art came out. This is going for like literally nothing, but I don't hate it. It's a little strange, I'm not going to lie, but I don't actually hate it. But it goes back to the notion, do you like the movement NFTs, or do you like the ones that just stay still? Want a little bit of controversy? We love a little bit of controversy. Azuki art versus ink art. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. So the entire timeline was out, basically crucifying ink on BTC yesterday. And people went out and I guess kind of compared the two images and were like, okay, like the hair traits are similar. This thing's similar. It's a frog. It's flame hair. It's a koala, goat, giraffe, cat, fur thing. Person, another person with just a different hairstyle. And, you know, it's caused a hell of a lot of controversy. And it's just made me think a lot. Why the hell are we buying NFTs right now? Why the hell are we buying NFTs right now? Well, because in theory, we are a part of a broader blockchain community and we like to show off things that we're associated with. Okay, cool. But we've been told that, you know, the Bitcoin halving's coming up, all these tokens. We've, depending on what you've done, you've seen tokens move exponentially more than NFTs. I'm curious. I still think we have a while to go for NFTs to kind of go down. Will these coins go up? And then once people are like, you know, like we have some extra capital to be able to spend in the markets, let's go into that. But I'm trying to wrap my head around what catalyst there is for certain NFTs beyond some big event of utility. But as we're seeing with these tokens, they just move a lot quicker. I don't know. I'm feeling much more bullish on tokens than I am NFTs. It's just because everybody's hating each other. There's too many options. It's saturated. That's the same thing with coins, but it's also like 100,000 times X the amount of people that are into just crypto versus people that spread out to NFTs. Maybe not that much. Yeah, Hypnoto, thank you. We only want price to go up. True. So I entered a contest. Okay, I entered a contest. This was about the Prism sale, and if you want to enter, it's at Fluffaholic. You can make a meme, even if you don't understand what the hell this is. And if, I saw this on Schiller's stream. Enter. They have some free root that could be worth a fair little bit. And they're giving away a car with that. And my entry was wants one Prism and gets 0.99 voucher. If you don't know, the way that it works is it's like a fair value auction. And you get these vouchers that end up being like fractionalized, or not fractionalized, but down to like the decimal point. And so you could end up getting less than one voucher and you just have to buy like 0.01. That's a lot. But anyway, if you want to enter that, there's free stuff there. All right, Jonah saying almost all of gaming is about making money now. Really? Crypto is just more honest about it. YouTubers get paid to make content about games. Twitch streamers get paid to play a game they like and market it. TikTokers get paid to make clips. Esports gets paid to play. They all get money, 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 money. Money! Yo, Trader Pops, I think you were cooking something with the Futureverse. Do you mean in like the sense that it was good that I've been highlighting Futureverse and that aspect I've been cooking, or that like I'm working directly with Futureverse? Because I'm not doing anything. However, with that said, I don't know how the guilds and everything is supposed to be playing out within TTK. I've been hit up a ton of people trying to form things, and I'm sitting here, and to be quite honest, right? To be quite honest, I'm like, this is going to be the most drama-filled experience ever if this actually matters and people have to form groups. We have to do this and that. There's already people that are beefing with each other over stupid things. We have FUD. We have believers. We got friggin' Tybo being there being like, you're a FUDder. Okay, we're fighting in the ring. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to be absolutely insane when this game comes out. But with that said, let's get a little bit of an update here from this man in the metaverse.
Web3 gaming. It's not big when you compare it to everything else that's going on there, but they certainly make their presence felt. And when you walked into the conference center itself, the expo center, you were immediately confronted by a giant avalanche presence.
I guess he went to GDC. And this is, wow, that's crazy. So we have Shrapnel, Mega Weapon, Spellborn, Blood Loop. I can't see some of the other ones here, but this is a massive showcasing for Web3.
Shrapnel and Gunzilla Games. Tony from Shrapnel, big up to yourself. What a character you are. And Dub representing streaming non-stop. We also had the Space Nation game on display there. Roland Emmerich, the director of Independence Day and The Day After Tomorrow. He was there talking about how he wanted to tell stories in Web3 universes and do this insane transmedia. And I remember speaking to Jerome from Space Nation specifically about the challenges that games in this space have, and they have to be transmedia. They can't just be one game and that's it. There has to be a game, there has to be an NFT, they have to have little storylines. little chapters of content that people can consume on X or on streaming, wherever it might be. There is a huge challenge here to create enough surface area for a game to really cut through. Now, we can't leave GDC without talking about the Wolves Den, which is all part of Wolves DAO. So shout out to Peyton, IC, Matt Stefanino, Sam Stefanino, all the people that put that together, and Shrapnel, of course, as well. This is a place where, if you were Web3 connected, you could come and hang out, you could play games, you could eat some food, but fundamentally, GDC is quite difficult to figure your way around, and the Wolves Den itself was a really fun place to just go and meet interesting people.
That looks super crammed.
Web3.
Anybody
But
feeling
it did surface
claustrophobic?
up this giant problem that Web3 gaming actually has, because the NFT component, the ownership component, really is a very small part of what it means to be an actual game. And when you see GDC and you see the sheer weight of developers and material and craft and creativity and skill on display, a Web3 game is a game. And it needs to be a good game. And it needs to be judged as a game. There should be no caveat. The Web3 bit doesn't matter. Of course, it does matter in the grand scheme of things because owning your own shit is owning your own shit. And that, when you strip everything else away, is the deal. That is the main thing. So over there, we also had Wilder World, who were with the Metagravity team, who are building massive concurrency in virtual worlds. Great to see those guys. They are hilarious. But what's so nice about all of this is that we have genuine, real products. So much of NFTs and Web3's great promise is only promise. We're gonna build something, it's gonna be amazing. The other side, where is it? Nobody knows. But here we have games that are actually produced, they're in the real world, and you can actually play them. And they're being developed by teams that are happy to talk to you in real time. So if I had to pick out one highlight from the whole show, it was meeting the Parallel team. And Parallel blew me away. This is the real deal as far as I'm concerned. They have a game that feels like it has exactly enough substance to make it compete with some of the biggest pieces of IP out there, but it's also innovative, it's doing new things, and it just feels substantial, rounded, interesting. I like it.
Interesting. So he thinks that Parallel was the biggest impressor at GDC 2024 in Hoddle Hill. Good morning to you. That Wolves Den thing looked extremely claustrophobic, though. I don't know if I could do that one. Part of the reason Ordinals is doing well right now is friction. The more complicated it is to set up wallets, learn a new system, etc., the fewer people will be on it. Long term, I think almost all Ordinals trend the same way as almost all ETH NFTs, as almost all meme coins, zero. Have you noticed like a big change since we started getting into like bullish feels? If we look at like the past 2 years in the market, a lot of the things that are really flying right now, I feel the majority of people were completely against. And just we're like, no, that's not right. Not fundamentally there. Obviously, a couple people expansing out to different areas of the Web3 realm. But now the market's picking back up. Things are getting interesting. People are more free with capital. It's interesting how many different hot takes and things that we see. How many of them are going to end up aging horribly, and how many of them are going to end up aging fantastically. CZ with an update for their Giggle Academy, which again is supposed to be like a free-to-play education platform. We got a team of 10 now, some part-time, some full-time, all remote. We have calls together 3 times a week in addition to 80 smaller chats. Hiring is ongoing. I do a dozen interviews a week. We are targeting a 15-people team initially. We finalized the content for the first phonics English lesson and are working on producing it. We made some adjustments along the way. We are not making a web version first. We will make an Android version first. Several reasons. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, yeah, so I guess CZ is still kicking and screaming with Giggle Academy, which is cool. All of Wall Street is going to get tokenized. Markets will become 24/7. 365 days a year. Bitcoin was the first, tokenized gold. Stablecoins were next, tokenized fiat, and eventually every financial asset will get tokenized. Just a matter of time. We're early, right? Every hour, someone's talking about first this and first that. Shut up. Yo, I love this tweet. This is amazing. I feel like this is me the other day when I'm like, why is everybody talking about it being the first and that being the value prop? I love this. This is the best tweet of the month, tweet of the year, to be honest. Okay. Forbes coming through with a spicy article here, and for whatever reason, mentioning Bored Apes when they're talking about a different collection. Move over Bored Apes thanks to a contract with Walmart to sell stuffed toy versions of its cute aquatic birds. The Igloo Co. is home to the world's hottest NFT collection. I mean, adding the Bored Ape into this, everybody's been talking about it, and I think it's justified. Like, okay, so there's like keyword searches and stuff that you want to put in the title, description, because it'll reach a wider audience. But if you're trying to big up a collection, why are you trying to tear down something at the same time? That just highlights how PvP-esque Web3 is. But somebody breaking down, showing between those two here the power of the hook, where they mentioned the Bored Apes. It got like literally over 1,000 more likes for it, over 100,000 more impressions, and just kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. However, I guess the Bored Apes one was the first post, and then you see it again. So, I mean, why would you interact with the post again when you just got the thing? Yeah, it is weird that it says Bored Ape and not Pudgy Penguin. Why not both in one? Truey. Also, if you guys can let me know, I noticed that my mic was going to the red a little bit there. If I'm popping, I don't hear it in my ears, but let me know if I am. JVB is trying to find some new follows. If you guys want to reach out to Mr. JVB, is there anyone in Web3 who discusses projects that excite them which aren't their bags? Yeah, not really. I don't think so. Listen, my bags go home type of deal. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. We do the show. We talk about everything. The gaming chain narratives as I see them. Do you agree or disagree with the breakdown? For Ronan, we have the gamers. Immutable, we sign a lot of games. Polygon, we have Immutable. Solana, people like the chain. Sui, Aptos, and Else will write a check. Scale, it's free. Avalanche, subnets are good UX. Arbitrum, L3s, and maybe 400 mil. Base, get listed on Coinbase, maybe. Decent take. I mean, Ronan does have the gamers. Immutable does sign a ton of games. Polygon does have Immutable for them, but I would also add a little comment there that all the older ETH NFTs that have built anything that are trying to scale have added Polygon interoperability to it or some kind of component. Solana, people like the chain. I feel like that's basic, but I don't disagree with it. And I'm just not familiar enough with the other ones, to be totally honest, to give any sort of opinion. Don't think it's a coincidence that Poop Token, which talked about from Doodles a minute ago, the derivative Doodles token was launched by a founder in stealth for many months now, days before NFT NYC. Expect a great showcase by the team this week as the first initiative roadmap to get the collection back on Vogue. So I've been trying to highlight that I think something big is happening within Doodles, because for the Third Kingdom and the Futureverse announcement, they highlighted Doodles and Pudgy Penguins and some other collections, and a lot of the collections haven't actually said anything about it. So this is like the equivalent of Gutter Cat Gang making an announcement and saying, hey, Bored Apes, get this. But like, Gutter Cat Gang literally made something for Bored Apes, but Bored Apes hasn't said anything, and we're all like, okay, what's going on? You know what I mean? But with the fact that Doodles has this Project Ray event, we have the mintage jackets that are also part of Futureverse. Everything seems to be revolving around this event, and it's weird that this token was dropped immediately before that, helping, I don't know, vibes, I guess, and people having extra liquidity. Very, very interesting. Okay, shout out TSBG who sent me this, and I need to like actually deep dive into it, because if I'm not crazy, $0 delivery. When you hold the industry pass, you pay $0 for standard delivery on all Devour Go orders. So is this the DoorDash Web3 competitor? Feeding the digital generation. Learn about Devour at devour.io. Climb the Go VIP leaderboard. Okay. It's now cross-chain on both Ethereum and Solana. Going through this, just seeing if there's anything. Oh, hold on. Was it mentioned? That's interesting that Devour was brought up by the Paul Barron. Yo, TSBG, if you see this, did you see it on the Paul Barron Network show? Yo, that guy's great. I actually very much enjoy watching his different things. But I need to dive into it a little bit more. But if this is actually like the competitor do that. It's insane. So when we go through here, in-game ordering and engagement, player and community, food perk rewards, tokenized promotion, restaurant partner network, food ordering widgets, and social creator tools from Twitch, Discord, TikTok, YouTube. Consumer-facing marketplace goes back to what I showed earlier with Attach from the Call of Duty League, and people paying him to do certain things. The engagement, the social, the influencer, the everything. Things are getting built, and it's exciting. But I need to pay more attention to this, and a big shout out to TSBG for bringing this to my attention. Okay, so basically there was this person that ended up getting doxxed, and they bought like a Lambo. Apparently they created like Pepe. They have $160 million worth of the tokens within there, and this is the only thing that really kind of freaks me out within the whole Web3 space is now people know that this person has $160 million. Right? Like, we're all keyboard warriors and all this other stuff, but somebody has $160 million of a token. And people are just like highlighting that, bringing that up all over. Obviously, we see celebrities and stuff that have a ton of money. And, you know, obviously the security guards, yada, yada, yada. But this whole notion out there of the amounts of money that random people have and stalker potentials, everything else, I feel we haven't had any sort of issues. I remember last year, or maybe it was earlier this year, there was something that a woman posted about this guy that was being super weird at one of the events, right? And that's, I guess, a little bit different because it's not like money-based per se, right? And there was all these problems, and the person ended up getting completely banned from the events, and it was awesome that they ended up handling it the way they did. But when this, you know, kind of continues to get bigger and, you know, more noticed, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be weird shit that ends up happening. All right, Apewood. People just want to buy something they think is cool. To vibe with other people they think are cool. True. To amplify content they think is cool. True. Hit the retweet, like button, all the other stuff. To grow an idea they think is cool. True. That's pretty much all people want to do here. Even when it's shutting down, Starbucks Odyssey is crushing it. Free coffee for 2 months. As a thank you, please enjoy 1,600 bonus stars, enough for one free handcrafted beverage per week for 2 months, and redeemable however you choose. The bonus stars will be added to your Starbucks reward account within 48 hours. Okay, my mind immediately goes to, if this guy wants to go viral, you go to Starbucks and you buy like 30 drinks all in one go, make a video of them making it, and just post it and be like, NFTs got me this. I'm just saying, that'd go viral. This is crazy. Arbitrum has real verifiable cash flows. Whiff has a hat, and it's doing better than Arbitrum. You've never made it to Canada. That's insane. Well, not really. It's not that exciting. It's all right here. We're chilling. Ever want to go to a hockey game? Come visit. Let me know. All right. Genkai. I don't know why. I like bringing these up. I think they're cool. Call me crazy. I probably am never going to buy one, but I like the art style for them. Hey, invisible friends. Are you good? Well, they're invisible and they're friends, so no idea. Again, 500,000 followers, invisible friends from the get-go. I was like, none of this makes any sense. They had a charity auction that one of the gold invisible friends ended up selling for $1 million for like literally no reason at the time. March 13th, looks like they're still doing stuff, so I don't know where that post is necessarily coming from. Somebody's making a 3D object of some of the invisible friends, which I think is pretty cool. But I would agree, I haven't heard a whole lot about invisible friends for a while. The funny thing about the last tweet is Arbitrum is just as useless as Whiff. Whiff is cute, that's the difference. Well, I mean, so the argument would be that for Arbitrum, if you were to take that token and stake it or whatever, you would be able to get more of that token to create a yield, where I don't think Whiff has that. Unless I'm wrong. Since Wolf Game, I'm not sure I've been shilled harder on something that I fell so hard for that turned out so badly so quickly than last week's aping into Crypto Valley yield. Like, wow, who turned on the lights? Turned out the lights less than a week. This is the second time that I've seen somebody fudding Crypto Valleys after we read massive posts about people being bullish and writing threads and all this crazy stuff. And then why are we bringing it up again? Just to show you from 1 week to the next, we can be insanely bullish. It sounds good. And then things go not that great almost immediately. So Thread Guy's asking, realistically, is there any catalyst for another bull run? And Camel's saying NFTs solve the biggest pain point of gamers, which was also brought up by Supermassive when we saw his metaverse character show. One of the many reasons Ethereum was invented was for games. Don't just say Web3 gaming is the future. Embrace it, play the games, talk about them, onboard people, build the future. So the argument with this is, from my perspective, I think we see like a mass scale of everybody just being cool with NFTs, and we don't see these like out of 10,000 collections unless it's from something that's established. So we'll use Futureverse as an example because probably most of you will kind of get the reference. So let's just say for the fluffs, they're supposed to be able to be bred and have these flufflets, right? And so the next form of NFTs, let's say that are like mass marketed, are these flufflets. So people go out and they buy these flufflets, and that's probably just what they'll do, right? Like the $5-10 and leave it at that. Maybe people will put in more to it, but we're not going to see people go out and be like, oh yeah, woohoo, I'm going to go and buy something that's, you know, a $500 mint plus. Until, you know, there's a point, let's say that those flufflets go like extraordinarily well, 5 months down the line, they have a mint of like 500 that are like these super rare ultra ones that are just for style points. Because that's one thing that we've seen with certain collections is that they've given rarity to them, but there's not actually like a broader use case for them. Right? Some collections have actually like successfully integrated a trait, and we've had some point reward systems from loan opportunities, the protocols that allow like lending and borrowing. They've got like multipliers on certain rare traits per se, but I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Define established. Well, I think anything that like sells out and continues to be able to have sellouts of some sort, right? I mean, so as an example, it's a great question, actually, Snazzy. So Oniforce, I was genuinely surprised that they were able to mint out the Ordinals collection. Like I might just be kind of in a different ecosystem, but it felt like, okay, Oniforce came out. I remember hearing something about it was odd with the founders, or the team left and there was one person, and then they ended up getting like categorized within Azuki for that anime token, and the things just started to kind of come back together, and I haven't seen anything of like what they've done, and then they do like another sale. And so I might be crazy, right? But I don't see how they ended up getting all the extra bits for that, except for the people that just like the art, right? And maybe that creates an establishment of people who are like, I know what Oniforce is, and this is cool. So I guess that would be the answer to the question. Yo, Calcium, what's going on? Having lunch listening in? Hell yeah, Kid Arcade. Needed this ad for focusing in real life. Glad that you're here. McLovin, what's going on? What do you mean? I'm all in? Yeah. Okay, dude, listen, this guy's all in. He's like, hold on. Instead of going to McDonald's and getting 2 pancake breakfasts, a sausage and egg muffin, 2 large coffees, and one of those strawberry banana smoothies, we are all inning on the crypto market today. Really? Meme coins are unironically a catalyst for NFTs. Deadfellas tweeted about meme coins and they pumped to 1.4 ETH. What? Hold on a second. No, you're actually lying. It didn't go that high. By the way, it did not go that high. They're at 0.11. Oh, wait, hold on, Toaster. Are you talking about forever ago? Or do you mean right now? Or did you there's no way these went over an ETH, dude. That's crazy. Do you think Memeland will pull this off, or BUIC? I mean, on the gaming stuff. So that's a really good question. I think when we're looking at the meme coins, it's interesting that Memeland is trying to be like a meme coin, but then also like attempting to add utility to it, which is arguably kind of like Elon and Doge. But I mean, which one of those two would you kind of look at? Obviously, market caps are the same. Sorry, not the same, but massive amount of differences. So I don't think we can make any predictions. That's maybe a weird take. I feel that we all had the expectations and the thoughts that people were going to create these games, and it has happened, but we've clearly seen across the board that it hits with a certain audience and doesn't hit with another one. So are we going to get to a point where everybody is all playing a certain game and it gets that mass disruption? I don't think we've really gotten that yet. I think Parallel is probably the closest one with Pixels Online. If we're looking at like some various different ecosystems, it feels like Immutable slowed down a hell of a lot. I feel like nobody really talks about the different Gala games. I think for the Yugi games, they're way too passive, and so people just don't talk about them. There's a lot of people that are playing the different games, from Heavy Metal to Legends of Mara, but it's just there's nothing to talk about because it's like a passive yield game. And so when does that switch, if ever? I don't know. It was a mistype. Okay, Toasty. I was about to flame you, brother. I was about to lose my mind. But did you see my dead fella? She cute. No, I did not. I did not see it. What ID is it? Can we just look it up on here? Yeah, what ID? Let me know. We'll bring it up. I think Memeland capabilities for bridging normies is the best for now. What do you like about Memeland specifically? Just the fact that they have the I guess Web 2 mantra and that they continue to build stuff. What's the bullish case for you? If Yuga buys Memeland or vice versa, I think it's endgame. I mean, it goes back to the Moonbirds acquisition, right? Like, did Yuga actually want to get the Moonbirds IP? Did they want to get the people that were a part of that studio, or did they want to get the treasury a part of that? Because that, answering that question will be able to give you that answer, I think, of like, would it be possible that Yuga Labs buys Memeland? And Memeland was like doing its own thing, right? Like when they picked up the Punk 9059 that does all those stats on NFTs, I thought that was an insane pickup and really cool, and shows that like they know what they're doing and willing to, spend to get it, because I'm assuming that guy's not cheap. 8612. Nice. Yo, that's a fire one. That's like an athlete almost right there. Yo, you even got the Band-Aid. Somebody just elbowed you right in the face of the basketball court. That's crazy. Yo, you bought it 14 days ago too. Listen, are you going for a little bit of a flip? Yo, you could go for a little bit of a flip there. Hell yeah. 9Gig can't be slept on, to be honest. Kid Arcade, my dream is for GTA to allow a wall to connect it so I can import my NFTs and flex in the open world game. I think open world games, I remember back in the day, I was like, okay, I love MMOs, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, RuneScape, love that stuff. And I used to always try to look up, upcoming MMO games and all this. And now we're at a point that every freaking Web3 game that's trying to be bigger is doing these open world massive games, and it's exciting. It's exciting. She feisty. Really? You think GTA would be the easiest onboard? It is crazy how much they actually have in terms of reach for the world, for how many people know what Grand Theft Auto is, like the game, not the action, the game. Clarify. I would agree. It would be a massive onboard, but I think it would also be a huge risk. So do you see, like, what studios are we going to see take the massive leaps and really all in and back this? That's the question. No, sir. Hey, listen, I know, but listen, we can fake it and be whatever persona we want in the metaverse. That's what's great. I think about something bigger version of Goblins up only. For Goblins, am I crazy? What is Goblins? Like I believe 9Gig fulls at 2010s, just pure for fun. Now they're young adults that have a bit of money. That's another thing. I'm surprised we haven't seen more retro IP like Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, obviously we could just say Pokemon, but there's a lot of stuff that, I generally feel like the audience, we're all kind of like similar in age, right? Like maybe a little bit of difference, but we at least know the same things. And again, I'm just surprised some of the old nostalgic things that we haven't seen in like forever that were super popular that people go out and they're interested in. I would say more of that in the space. What the frig? What the frig? GTA in-game stock market would be Web3 connected, but would be lit. True. Yo, Kick and Bull, what's going on? How are you? Also, Animal Crossing is fluctuating in-game turnip market. Yo, Animal Crossing. There we go. I think more games will add IRL connections to these type of event mechanics. Yes. I'm curious how the IRL just flushes out here as we continue to go forward. People are saying, these events, like, they need to have IRL. It's like, you know how expensive all these traveling things are? I mean, maybe it's because, like, I'm in Canada, so it's, like, totally different, but it's not, like, a cheap excursion. I guess you could make that if you wanted to drive, go on a budget, do all that crazy stuff if you wanted to, but I don't know. But super dangerous to sell some of the kids that could get right. So that's another thing, is that these ratings are going to play a huge part in what can and can't happen. But it was cool. I forget. It might have been Epic Games, might have been Steam. I think it was Epic Games that changed their mature labeling, because any game that had a blockchain in it for a while was just default listed as mature for like 18 plus. But that went away a couple months ago, which I think is really, really cool. Okay, sorry, I've been looking at chat way too long. Back to the thing. If you guys are here, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We go live every single day and we talk about NFTs, Web3, and all that fun stuff. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Okay, Miles. Every week, X is riddled with crypto alpha. Truly. However, the real alpha nuggets tend to get lost amidst the noise. I compiled the top 10 alpha tweets I read this past week, so you don't have to. Current trending narratives to focus your attention on. BlackRock new tokenized fund ignited the RWA narrative, the real world assets. Okay. So do we now, start looking at real world assets and things? Maybe. I haven't really gotten into it too much, to be honest. A great reminder to trade new token standards as they arise. If there's one lesson I've learned on chain, it's to go balls long every semi-legit new token standard. I guess we're early. I guess this is revolutionary. Stock market performance during presidential election years. This is especially relevant given this year is an election year. And what does it show for anybody that's on visuals? Up only. Airdrops potentially coming to FTM soon. Good spot from D. Phil. Just learned that airdrops are coming to the Phantom ecosystem. The more you interact with the network, the more value you accrue to the network. It's going to lead the higher airdrop. Phantom Foundation CEO. Okay, so all these chains are doing different airdrops. Everybody's getting liquidity. Where are they going to go spend it? Historical performance of crypto in April and Q2. Crypto April and Q2 returns. Let's take a deeper look at the historical Bitcoin and Ethereum returns from April and Q2. Important to keep in context, the context in mind. Bull market, aka higher highs and lows, at previous all-time high and halving in 23 days. Bitcoin Q2 numbers. The returns, and this is so it's showing that for wow, look at this. 66% in Q1. If you look at some of these other ones here where they had a massive Q1, a lot of them ended up turning into green. And even the ones that were red in Q2 ended up actually going in the positive too. So that goes back to the notion that we've had for a while that Q2 is supposed to start, which started from the Coinbase year-end report last year. And they said, when moon, Q2. They like verbatim. They literally said that. Interesting month watch list for the month of April. GTO among the new Sol ecosystem projects. GTO is the most undervalued. ENA, the high revenue of Athena Labs derived from SUSD may be considered. Bico, Pendle, Sui, Luna. Okay, so we go over this thing and you're immediately like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed, right? And I am too. And this is why I do the show where we talk over certain things and it's kind of a brief overview and you find and dive into whatever you're interested in, because there is actually something for everyone out here and you're gonna just bash your head on a wall trying to learn everything. It's a slow process. It's fun, but feel free to stick into some areas. So if you want to read more for that, again, check out Miles, but there's obviously a lot within that thread. Okay, going to another one here, relatively briefly. A tale of three bull markets, 2017, 2020 to 21, and 2024. That's what we like to hear. 98% of all Bitcoin's rise happened in 2.5 years. 2017 took the market from $1,000 to $20,000. September 2020 to November 2021 took the market from 10,000 to 69,000. 2024 is already up 67% year to date with massive ETF flows. This is important because we go through a long stretch and you have people that say, oh, market's dead, this is over, why are you in crypto, etc. All of a sudden, everything moves. All of a sudden, people that were in the know, somewhat paying attention to it, will be like, yeah, we can kind of see it coming. But then you see those long stretches of absolutely nothing. But look at this. Seriously. You have somebody that's newer in the space, see how quick this stuff moves. 98% of all Bitcoin's rise happened in 2.5 years. 3 takeaways. The Bitcoin bull. Never mind. Bitcoin bull markets are massive. In the last 2, we went up 20x and 6x. They are quick. Both of the last ones lasted less than 18 months, and they were followed by vicious, soul-searching bear markets. True. They were brutal. They were awful. The justification was hard to find to stay within the markets. But the big note here is the Bitcoin bull, it went up 20x and then 6x. So it was a smaller increment per se. And that's why people end up playing so much within the altcoins. But there's a lot of people that don't really kind of realize that. And so they just end up going with Bitcoin, which is fine. And there's a chance that Bitcoin could end up mooning, right? We have these ETFs. Could it take over the market? Surely. But if we're thinking that crypto is an entire asset class, it's not going to just be one. The 2017 20x and crash. Boom! We're flying and then we're dying. Addresses were rising on a power law and crash. Don't know what the hell that means. The narrative wasn't BTC, it was ETH and ICOs. Interesting. So we also saw some Ethereum movement within there. ETH far outperformed BTC. ETH went from $7 to $1,400, a 200x rise versus Bitcoin's 20x, as we just talked about. The flippening narrative. The ETH driver ICOs, 11.4 billion was raised in 2017, 10 billion was raised in 2018 for a total of 21 billion. The US raised 4 billion and settled with the SEC. What's going on with the SEC and these different cryptos? We had that notion about ApeCoin a while ago. We have this new thing again with Coinbase. Are we going to have any big happenings within the crypto space for 2024? ETH got up to about 80% of the market cap of BTC. That's actually nuts that it got that high. The crash was brutal. We went from 20K to 3.5K, and the downturn lasted 2 years, and address growth completely broken. Which, to be fair, a lot of the stuff within the NFT market, people are saying there's no new buyers. It's just people are feeling comfortable spending capital. Now, I'm not going to go over the rest of the thread because I want to take out all the magic, but if you want to follow Fred, we've highlighted a couple of the things that he's posted before because I think they're cool. It's at @Kruger. All right, the first thing you see when you're landing in Austin, try Grayscale Bitcoin, the world's largest Bitcoin ETF. All right, we're back. We're feeling confident. We're wanting to spend that money. Yo, going to crash. It's pretty late here. Once again, thanks, Shell. Truly needed this stuff. Hell yeah. Yo, I appreciate you coming through. All the best. Have a good night. Advertisements. We're coming back. Okay. What if Discord, where we spend a lot of our time, starts taking ads and it's all about crypto and everything else? Apparently, they're reportedly rolling out sponsored ads soon. Is that going to change your Discord experience? Maybe. Arcade Land. This will forever go as like a weird collection to me because I reached out to them when they first came out and they were like, we're too busy. A couple of years later, feels like not much is going on. I'm going to be totally honest with you. However, they're suddenly dropping air token from different collections. And I guess this is for heavy metal. A bunch of heavy metal holders are getting air token drop from arcade.land. How about you? The more heavy metal farms together, the more air each heavy metal holder will get. I don't know what the hell that means. Maybe it's like if you have more heavy metals within a specific wallet, you're going to earn more. If you don't know, Arcade Land is like the equivalent of like Sandbox to Decentraland. It's just trying to create different, I guess like metaverse games type deal. You know what I mean? Pops Trader, I need a job in crypto to buy more. Truly. So we highlighted the Costco hot dog thing. And of course, Metablocks has to ruin it for us as we now have the line of ketchup of it absolutely dying. So we had the Moon City and then Welcome to Jover, if you know what I mean. That's it for this edition of X-Feed. Yay! Heavy metal was such a scam. Heavy metal was chalk. That was to the point earlier of the question regarding, what games do we bet on? Meme Land, Yuga. Everybody's kind of figuring this out, right? What's the best way to implement the new technology? I don't know. All right, going through the chat. Kicking Bull. We got Kid Arcade, Pops the Trader, DJ Toasty, Hoddle Hill, Kid Arcade, Calcium. Is that it? Yeah, that might be it. Oh, Snazzy too. Hypnotoad, Harry Swan, Wind, Talker. I definitely missed somebody else within there. McLovin. Might have been you. Appreciate you guys tuning in. That's going to be it for this episode. We're going to be back tomorrow as per usual. I'm trying to talk as humanly fast as possible because it's going to be way better to end the show instead of my usual argument of just trying to